Oh God,
We're here.
we're here. Did that play twice for everybody? I feel like in the background, my thing might have been also still playing. But anyway, and it's a Wicked Dicey production, but that was a Bob production. Thank you, Bob, for that, for sharing that. He sent it with some royalty, not free music, and so we exchanged it with like a little spaghetti western. Welcome to the 5 Morning Show, the obnoxiously early Wicked Dicey show. We're your hosts, Korey, Miles, and Cam. Joining us for the first time, be sure to like and subscribe. We just hit 119 subscribers. Next stop, 120. It's gonna happen. Joining us today is ourselves, just ourselves. It's just us and a puppy, a new Cam cheerleader puppy.
Woo.
Puppy of sorts. Golf clap. Leave a comment on what we're going to name the puppy, because I don't know if I've seen a name, and we're just going to decide it right here in the show. Today we're going to recap the Maine RTT and what all happened down there, and I guess we still know Ryan. We still have Ryan and Sam. We didn't lose them in the woods or wherever you guys were. And then we're going to discuss some Ironweld stuff. So yeah, how's everyone doing this morning?
Good. I vote the puppy's name needs to be something and then the Destroyer of Worlds. Like it needs a title.
Okay. Destroyer of Worlds works. His first name is Bean, so it could be Bean, Destroyer of Worlds.
Yes.
Bean?
Yeah, it's Bean.
I just watched I don't know if anybody's ever read Ender's Game, but I watched the movie for the first time last night, and there's a character named Bean in it. You said like Bean, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, anyway, thanks for joining us this morning. Cam, you guys went up to Maine, and Bob won the whole tournament because Bob was there, right?
Yes. Yeah, Bob won. Bob fought a Maine state trooper who pulled us over for speeding.
You just never know what part's real. Either got pulled over for speeding could be the lie, or Bob fought a state trooper is the lie.
Or was Bob even there?
Ooh. I didn't look at the roster, so
no, Bob was not there. Yeah, Sam and Ryan and I drove up to Justin's house, D6 Wargaming, up in, I want to say it's Rockland.
Mm-hmm.
South Thompson area. Yeah. Let's give the exact address to the internet so they can go.
Yeah. Yeah, it was super fun. He's got a really cool setup. He's got like a giant garage, and the second floor is all like finished, and it's got like 6 or 8 tables, like Warhammer tables in there. And so he like hosts an RTT once a month, I think he said, for like all the local Maine people up there. And so he's like, fresh blood, let's get other people in here, like same people every time. So it was fun to drive up. We went and stopped in Portland on the way up, and we saw Wyatt, who was at the teens retreat, who was on their team, Sam and Ryan's team. So it was really fun. It's really fun.
Wyatt played Slaves to Darkness.
Right?
Yeah. He seemed super nice. I didn't really get to chat with him at the event, but I know he's kind of like switching over from 40K or like dabbling.
Yeah, I think they've been working on him for a while to switch over from 40K, because I think he's been a holdover. Like I think he played 40K at Everwinter.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, I think he did.
So he's been sticking around on 40K, but I think they've been convincing him slowly to switch to the dark side.
Nice.
His Splintered Fang were insanely well painted. They're like the mint green with like the ice blue tones.
Yeah, he's a good painter. I mean, he's got like I think he's like a dental surgeon or something, so he's got the hand skills for it, if that makes sense. Like
Word, that's actually good to know. I hate my dentists. Wyatt, if you're out there, I need some dental work.
So I have a weird
event. He'll just whip out his travel set.
Yeah, at Lemoyne, just rip my wisdom teeth out.
Oh God,
in the woods. I have a weird confession, which is I don't know what Splintered Fang are, and I know that it's a really popular meme, like character or like like unit. I couldn't tell you what it looks like. I couldn't tell you what it does. I know that Rob's obsessed with them or likes them a lot. But I've kind of like stubbornly refused to look them up, and I'm standing my ground.
That's okay. You can do that.
Someday I'll learn the true mastery that is Splinterfang. And hell, I might have even played them and just not known. Anyway,
it's their battle line. They're a Warcry cultist unit.
Gotcha.
And so their battle line, which makes them semi cheap, and they have mortals on 6s, and they have a lot of attacks. So, and they've got like 2 little snake models that come back, or a snake model that comes back. It's like a 2 wound snake model. So you do 2 wounds to them, and it dies, and then it comes back. I don't remember when it started, the hero phase or something.
Yeah, something stupid.
So they have a lot of wounds that come back. You can't just chip damage them down. So
gotcha.
cheap, decent battle line that does some damage.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm sure. Like I said, I probably played them. I just didn't kind of know, like, hey, that is Splinterfang. But kind of backing up, kind of going forward, I guess, is Ryan won the main RTT, right?
He didn't win because there was another 3-0. So, and I guess I don't know what the tiebreakers were. It was probably battle points, or maybe he dropped a tactic somewhere along the line. But yeah, Ryan went 3-0 with Korn.
Okay.
Yeah, Austin was the other one. He was playing Seraphon, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Seraphon at Lemoyne.
Oh yeah. That was my last game there.
Yeah,
he was like super cool, and he also like he went 3-0 with.
Yeah, well, he was playing Stormcast. He was playing Stormdrake, Celestin on Stormdrake or whatever, and a bunch of long strikes, I think.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. He's got Celestin Prime, the Knight Vexillor, Lord Celestin on Stardrake.
Oh, so he's got the that English list that the group kept running.
No, the English list is like 4 Vexillors, Karazai, I think.
No, this one's, I think it's called like Sun and Moon Star.
Oh, Rain of Stars. So
Rain of
that
Star.
had a Slan in it.
Okay.
Or maybe this is the new version of it after.
He said he had a Slan in there, and he said he took the Slan out.
Gotcha.
Coward.
Yeah, I played so he didn't 3-0 with his Seraphon list, right? Like
no. It was
he went, but like not to like, because again he was like super awesome, but he was like by the end of that Lemoyne tournament, he's just like fuck it, like he just like moved the Seraphon up the board and was like I don't feel like doing
this. No, he did it with Stormcast. I think he said that he was like, Stormcast was he just like stumbled upon it recently, and he's just like, oh, this is like what I've been wanting to play the whole time.
Yeah, they're a fun one. I think Omar just asked, what do you think about dragons?
Yeah. It's a decent build. It's lost a lot of power since it first came out, like kind of like what I guess 2 years-ish ago. But it's one of those lists that you could probably consistently go 3-2 with it. Maybe a 4-1, but some of like the big 5-0 baddies are going to give you a hard time. It might get better in the next GHB because like you typically only have 1 GC in that build.
It's very straightforward. It walks forward, it shoots fire, and then it charges. So it's like it has no tricks. So like good players will know how to screen against it and play against it better than your average person. But yeah, you can probably crush a bunch of people who just can't deal with the raw output.
I remember at BobCon, so Bob had like a little house party, and we called it BobCon, and Anthony played Mike, and Mike played like the 8 to 10 dragon list, and Anthony played like old Sinesh, and he was just like, I basically like fed him 10 men every turn, like eat these 10 men, and you can't do anything else to me. He basically like move blocked the shit out of it. So
you can definitely do that. Oh wait, was this at Bob's house like recently?
Like BobCon back in the day when it was like when we played, it was like right before LVO, so it was like January.
Yeah. He was playing Mike though, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh,
yeah. Listen, we can't.
I
heard Anthony.
I woke up like 4 times. So.
And another question from Omar: what's the big 5-0 baddie? There's a lot of 5-0 baddies right now. OBR is scary.
Oh yeah, OBR. Yeah.
I keep hearing like stories from the front line
Well, I
that
have a story from the RTT also from that.
yeah. Oh yes, Cam, you were telling us at Kowloon the other day.
Yeah.
So go ahead and go into that one real quick.
So I played 3 games, obviously a 3-game RTT. I played Lumineth, and then I played a Feck Mirror, Flash Eater Corp Mirror, and then I played.
Was there any reflections?
Yeah, no. The only reflections they saw, like knights and ladies and horses and stuff. They didn't see the ghastly, ghoulish visage that was actually there. And then I played OBR game 3. And yeah, I was telling Miles that every time I play a new book, I always get stomped by something because it's always like I just put a unit into the wrong unit, and it always takes at least a game for me to just be like, okay, that unit does this, and don't do that again. Like you could tell me like what it does, its stats and stuff, and it'll just go in one ear out the other until I actually like see it rolled.
Yeah,
which is not great, but you know it is what it is.
You learn by mouth feel.
Yeah, yeah. So I was actually playing really well because I was completely screening out the board. I was actually winning on points. And I was way faster. Like the thing with OBRs, they're very slow. And that army he brought was very elite. Like he had like 2 units of stalkers and a unit of reinforced Mortec guard. No, not Mortec guard. The Immortus guard, the bodyguard unit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had Arcan and the other guy. I don't remember.
Catacross.
Necros, yeah.
Catacross, yeah.
Catacross.
Big Daddy Caddy.
Yeah.
I just like calling the big models Big Daddy. Techless, I
Anything
call him
Big
Big
Daddy.
Daddy T.
Have you ever
Big Daddy Techless?
have you played Nagash with your Lumineth yet, Korey?
Yeah, Anthony fucking kicked my shithole in.
Oh really?
But that was I don't know if that was with the new. No, that was the old Lumineth book and old Soulblight book. I think Nagash's power level has dropped a little bit, but I still. It's just like he can challenge Techless, right? Like normally I'm just like, I'm gonna cast 4 spells on a 10.
Yeah.
You can go fuck yourself. And Nagash is like, I'm plus, a million to unbind, so you can go sit in the corner.
Yeah. Gotcha.
No one puts Techless in the corner.
Not to go way off the beaten path, but Nagash, what's like it's like a 4 on a 4-up, or what's his Nagash's defense like? It's like a 4-up and then a 5-up ward or something, or what?
It's something interesting.
Like I've still yet to play a Nagash in my entire AOS career. I've always
it's always like the sword of Damocles hanging over your head, where they're just threatening you with the like Hand of Dust spell.
Yeah,
like they're just like, I can just take off your big monster. I can just do it, and then they don't, and you feel stupid for playing around it the whole time.
Yeah,
it was funny. I watched Nagash versus Archaon game, like maybe this was like a year or so ago, and Nagash dusted Archaon.
Yeah.
But at that it was like insane because like there was like a 4-up spell ignore, so it's like a 50-50 first, and then it's a 4-up spell ignore followed by another 4-up spell ignore. So it was like, what is that? That's 12.5% success rate, right? And you just like pick them up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So before I forget, so I played OBR and I was doing really well. I was skirting the board and everything and scoring points. And then I decided, so he had put his Mortis guard into one of my flare units and didn't pick up my whole flare unit. I rallied like 6 of them back. So there was like a 7-man unit. And then I took my 9-man unit, which was all buffed up with all the extra attacks. So I had my 9-man flare unit with 7 attacks apiece and times 2. So it was like 100 and 28, 130 attacks. 6s are mortals in addition. So I was like, I'm going to do like 30 or 40 mortals. Or I guess it was 20 mortals or something on average. And then the rest should just kill the thing. And then it was like, oops, this unit is a 4-up ward against mortals. A 2-up, or it's a 3-up with +3 to save, so they're just rocking a 2-up save. And so I killed like 4 of them, and then he turned around and just picked up my other unit of flares with 2 models. And I'm like, okay, well,
yeah,
that's bad.
I like how a second ago you were like, it was kind of like 130-ish, like actually 128. Like, like I know the exact number because this should have worked.
No. The thing is, I didn't do the mental math because
Yeah.
like it's a lot of mental math to do like while you're at the table while your opponent's there, and I don't want to like pull out a calculator.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's kind of against the spirit of the game unless you already know it. But yeah, afterwards I was doing the math and I'm like, okay, if I did 20 mortals or 30 mortals or whatever it was, yeah, it should get 15 through the four board, which basically happened. And then with a 1-up save or a 2-up save, like out of the attacks that go through, you're only supposed to take another 10. So like the damage I did was actually pretty much exactly what the odds should have been.
Yeah.
So I did like 15 or 16 damage and took 4 models off the board and left 2 on there. And I was like, well, shit. But and then he also, to be fair, he also on the swing back. He had like an exploding attack spell, so his guys were hitting on or exploding on 5s, and so he rolled a ton of 5s, and then did not drop a single wound. So he like got more attacks than they even had base probably in that unit. So it was just like it was a bit of like a ouch, like in both regards. But on top of that, I was like, I shouldn't have charged him at all because he was like, oh yeah, and I can just bring them back like the same way that you can bring flares back. Like I can bring 1 or 2, I think even 3 back a turn. So it's like unless you pick up that whole unit in one go, it's just not worth going in, and it's not possible. I don't think there's anything in the game that can like do that much damage. You'd have to have a combination of a certain amount of mortals and a certain amount of rend.
Yeah.
Which may be Scarbrand or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But and I don't know Scarbrand's new profiles at all. So, but yeah, it's not bueno. I should have just like ignored it entirely.
Were there any like what was the like? Was it really competitive there? Was it or just like a drinking kind of enjoy it, play it kind of thing? Or
Both. I mean, it's not like people were like goofing around. Like
Yeah.
people had real lists and were playing games.
Were there any like crazy meme lists?
Not really. I guess Lucas was playing his Slanesh, and he had like 5.
So Lucas, he just called your list a meme list, just so you know.
I think he knows it's a meme list. I came up and I'm like, that's a lot of chariots. And he's like, yeah, they're not good.
Okay.
So he seems to be in on it.
Yeah.
I like chariots, but
actually, I take it back. Sam's list was an absolute meme.
What did he run?
Oh,
he
that
was like chaos, but he ran all like Ungors and
wasn't it all herd? I think he said.
Yeah,
so
all herd.
Every single unit in his army, instead of activating, could like in the combat phase can just run away.
Yeah.
So like every
Sam
single
loves
unit.
That. Like Sam's like favorite thing is just like, can it escape the actual battle when it goes to like you do that? Like I was talking to him about Griffhounds like a long time ago with Stormcast, and he was like, they're the most amazing model ever, which is totally fair. Like I think it's a brilliant you know, dynamic or whatever. Or
well, it's funny because Sam and Ryan played game 3, and it's 2 of the most antithetical armies known to man, because it's like one army just cannot stop running away.
Yeah.
And the other army can like move in your hero phase or in your movement phase, whatever, like
hero phase.
So like Sam's just like fighting and then or like just running away from combat, and then Ryan was just like piling in to chase him in the hero phase. So that game took a long time. That game was like a 3.5-hour game. Everybody was gone by the time their game was like wrapping.
Well, we know why that was a 3.5-hour game.
Because like nothing was dying. They were just running away.
Come back here. No, stay away.
Yeah, let me punch you. Yeah, so that was pretty funny.
I'm so out of practice. I'm just like thinking like the last tournament I played in. I don't even remember. The teams event.
Oh yeah.
But no, I did 2-2. Not the greatest, but
yeah, I feel like I know this is like being a little whiny, but like I feel like with organizing some of the like Wicked Dicey stuff, like there's a lot less tournaments that we're going to, like because it's just like like I have like life, and then I have like my hobby time, and that kind of needs to be taken up with like either planning or like a little bit of hobby or a little like one Wednesday game, right?
Yeah,
it's been Korey, me and you especially, I feel like I've just been missing tournaments over and over.
Yeah,
which is all right.
It was I guess this is going on year 3-ish of doing this, and like 3 years ago I was playing probably like 5 games a week, and now I'm down to like 1 every other week, and it's like it's that whole like, especially like when you're looking at it from like the competitive like aspect, like you kind of have that like illusion, right, of just like, oh, I'm good at this game, and then you're like, oh fuck, I'm not putting in the practice, and like you still hold yourself to a high standard, and then you're just like, you kind of easily can beat yourself up, but then you just need to take the second to step back, like, oh well, no, I'm like doing 20% of what I used to do, so it's like it's okay, it's fine. I'm gonna have fun with Mordheim though.
Yeah, Mordheim's great.
Yeah, get my vampire kink on.
I sent you a photo. You should make Kato your vampire.
I want to use Prince Duval for that.
Oh, that works.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
So for the audience, folks who don't know, we have every once in a while a virus that goes through our gaming group, and everyone decides they shouldn't play any Sigmar and they should play other distractions. And the current distraction is more. No, I'm just kidding. I genuinely enjoy the fact that we're playing Mordheim.
You should play Mordheim
and Legion. I just have to get around to that. That one's a harder sell for me. But no. So what happened this last Wednesday? You guys played like a mega game of Mordheim.
Yeah, we played a four-person game because
it looked really fun.
Didn't feel like, I think we were just lazy. We didn't want to set up 2 boards, so it's like just play a 4-player game, and it was it works. I mean, the game, there's nothing wrong with playing a 4-player game. Yeah, it was great. I routed off really early, so I had like plenty of time to go look at my post game, like what did I get from the battle, and like level up some characters and stuff like that. And so like, because that's like kind of where a lot of the fun actually is where, because you get all your money and upgrades, and in like basically you get points like at the end of the game, more or less. It's called gold. So like you're spending gold on buying more units and or like equipping your units with stuff. And also you check to see like any of your units that got killed in the battle, quote unquote killed, like knocked out or whatever. You see, do they die? Like, do they get sold to a pit fight and have to fight in an arena? Like, did they lose an arm? Did they lose a leg? Did they lose an eye? Are they fine? Did they get some like crazy trait? So the game is very, very silly. No, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, I really like. I mean, it was really refreshing to see that you guys had like all the terrain out, and like I feel like that's one thing I do miss with like Sigmar is like the terrain's great, but like just kind of like it's there.
Yeah, the problem Sigmar actually, especially after playing skirmish games, it's obviously going to be different because skirmish games are at the scale where terrain matters more, I'd argue. But since I've been playing a lot of Legion, like the terrain actually is very impactful.
Yeah.
And it's very simple. It either provides heavy cover or it provides light cover. There's not like garrisonable and passable. Like there's not a lot of keywords, but that leaves it open to have much more thematic boards because like you can just, everything's just a keyword. It's just, it either gives cover or it doesn't, blah blah blah. So it lets the boards be more interesting looking. Like what's worse than Sigmar boards is 40k boards, in my opinion, because you look at them at tournaments and they're just a bunch of L's.
It is. I'm still wrapping my brain around that.
They just need an absurd amount of line of sight blocking terrain.
Yeah.
Because it's a shooting game.
Heavy.
Yeah. So like you have to balance shooting games by closing lanes of fire off. Otherwise you're just going to shoot your opponent off the board turn 1.
So 40k used to not be like again, I played 40k as a kiddo, but I haven't played since. And I guess I feel like when I saw it as a like smaller person, I like it looked like it was interesting terrain.
It's because this is partially conjecture, but also probably partially factual. It's that the game is getting way too lethal. Yeah. So like units do way too much damage. So it means now that you really have to be able to hide your army.
Gotcha.
Otherwise they'll just shoot everything off the board.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is like 40k much more so than AOS has become like they're trying to, how do you even say it? Like, yes, we all play these games competitively, but I think in 40k they've tried to create, it's almost like, like when you like spawn into like a Warzone map or something like that, right? Like they want to make sure that it's the same every single time. So like, we try to do that as well, of course, but like it's like almost like turned up to 11 in 40k. It's
Yeah.
like, everyone knows that I'm going to have, like 4, freaking L blocks in this shape and like that, blah, 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 blah. Like they're very prescriptive of exactly the type and the spot versus us. We're just like terrain needs to be here, here, and there,
Yeah. Gotcha.
But I want to
Yeah,
spend
one
a
of my
lot of
biggest gripes
time.
with Sigmar still is that the terrain, and this is not a unique gripe. I know a lot of people share this, but their terrain system is very bad in Sigmar currently.
Yeah.
It's either
Yeah.
not impactful at all, or it's like impassable, where it becomes actually like way too impactful in the game.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the mystical stuff is cute, but it's kind of a lot of bookkeeping. It adds like a whole 5-minute setup at the beginning of the game.
Insert. Where's Bob's comment? Come on, Bob.
Like
Put the comment up.
damned
I know you love
and
mystical terrain.
deadly obviously work, right? Because
Yeah.
so those are things that interact well. Sinister and inspiring don't work at all because
Yeah,
you have
no
to be wholly within them, or like wholly within an inch, and on most terrain pieces is just not possible.
Yeah.
And it's not enough of a buff to go like seek it out. And then arcane is obviously way too strong.
Yeah, I mean, most people roll the dice and just look for arcane, and we're done. Like,
Yeah, or
it's
mystical if you don't have a 6-up ward. Like it's just too, just doesn't really work. I think that hopefully with the new edition, eventually they'll figure something out that's more interesting. But
yeah, it ain't great.
No, it's not. It's fine though. Like it's certainly not as bad as the game system that shall not be named. So
Legion.
no. No, that's a great train system.
What? Now I'm curious.
No, I'm just kidding. It's 40K.
We've already named it.
Yeah. I just remember I remember distinctly going into like this like toy soldier shop or something down in Memphis, and it was like, oh man, that terrain looks so cool. And then like since I've been back, it's just been like squares.
Yeah, it's cardboard boxes.
So,
it's not good.
Hopefully they work on that
super
next
dense.
edition.
So. I want to spend the next kind of 6 months really kind of making some more like functional and like themed tables for Everwinter / Ironweld / whatever. Yeah.
There's definitely ways to do it, but you have to be very cognizant of the playability, which is the issue.
Yeah, we were like in a discussion in a thread yesterday on Discord, which was like, you can't score like a battle tactic unless you garrison or something weird. And I was like,
desecrate, you technically don't control it unless you're inside of it.
Yeah,
that's crazy. It's like, how many times have I scored desecrate on that? Like, not, I feel like an asshole.
It's another weird one with
it's like goes right back at me,
Another weird one with garrisons, and I might be wrong. I'm always wrong about rules, so I'm just gonna get that out of the way. But if you have an ability, so like you can normally only garrison a unit if you don't make a normal move, right? If you have a setup ability, you could set up within 6 inches of the garrison and then technically enter it.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah,
because you can. Oh wow. Okay, I can see
teleports, bridge, whatever you need to do.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought you couldn't get in unless you made a normal move.
No, I'm almost 90% sure. I could be wrong though, but
I mean, that's like big. I mean, I feel like you could like pop in with some, Stormcast ability and then get an extra, I don't know, 9 inches or something weird out of it. But I don't know.
That's like what's called like if you have like a unit that's like moves less than 6 inches and you pop out, and then because it's not a wholly within. Yeah, it is instead of making a normal move. Yeah, so a setup would work.
Instead of making a normal move.
Yeah.
So scenario. A dumb scenario. So like 9 inch, you drop 9 inches with like, I don't know, Scions of the Storm or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you see a terrain piece super close and you can garrison into it, and then you can like charge out of that.
So let's say there's so I believe this is how it would work. Like let's say there's a garrison, and then within 3 inches of the garrison there's an enemy unit, right? But just right at the edge of 3. So then you could set up maybe needs to be a little bit. No, that might work. Yeah, it would work because then you set up more than 9 away, right? And then within 6 of the garrison, you could garrison and then be in engagement range.
Holy shit.
Or maybe you can't be within 3. I forget. But there's some dumb shit you can do. Garrison rules, like if you like understand them, like you can do some pretty dumb shit.
Damn.
Yeah, extending the range of shooting sometimes too. Like you can hop in, like you can be behind it where it's line of sight blocking, and then hop in, and then you're you're getting, depending on the piece of terrain, like you can get a huge move out of that, plus extending your range, plus now you're in cover, blah, 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 blah. Like it's
All right.
pretty good.
So homework is learn garrison rules correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely been playing it wrong. Not that it really makes a big deal for getting into and out of my throne in Flesh Eater Courts.
Yeah.
I've been walking over to it and hopping in, which is not correct. So
I garrisoned 4 plus spoil light lords at Casey Open. Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah, I'm also deciding to slowly start building Soul Blight.
It's going on a new one. New army.
Yeah.
New army alert. Yeah. I'm still. Oh gosh, I think my screen just messed up.
Hey, we still see you.
What was I going to say? I'm kind of being responsible and waiting till Cities comes out till my next like not big project.
Well, I keep complaining that all my books suck, and I can either just keep complaining, which I probably will still do, or I can like pick up a army that looks fun and is probably very good. So
yeah. I always think this is the unpopular opinion, but Soul Blight to me is a very boring sometimes army to play, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It's got a lot of intricacies. I feel like I've played Soul Blight so many times and it always just feels like a slog to play against. But totally unpopular opinion. Could be completely wrong.
No, yeah. Well, I think that's the way the old book was, because it was just like, here, stack a shitload of buffs on Blood Knights and you can't kill them. And yeah, we're just going to like walk up the board and glog it. Yeah. I think the book has a lot more like avenues of play now. And
yeah, I'm sure.
In fact,
again, that's like great. Shooting from the hip. Like, I don't know, just my little take on it.
Yeah.
But cool. Yeah, we're kind of getting to that 30 minute hour, 30 minute of 30 minutes-ness. Just kind of like to close off for the day, the dia. We got Ironweld coming up, not this weekend. Don't show up. We're not going to be there. But the next weekend.
Or do. We're not your mom.
Or do.
Yeah. You're not my supervisor.
Toward the facility again Wednesday, and it's looking great like it did when we toured it back in December or whatever it was. What else? Mordheim. If you haven't checked out the Always Strikes Last, they have Mick from Team Ireland and Miles, not me, from Team Ireland, and they chit chat a little bit about their upcoming, I don't know, slaughter, either way, one way or the other, with Team USA. And so it's a good one. So check it out. And anything else? I mean, we got other stuff. We could probably keep talking all day. I feel like that's a good.
Get your list in. If you're registered, get your list in. I just sent out list upload emails while on this show. So do that so I don't have to yell at you on Sunday. Sunday is, a day of yelling for me, and I don't know. Yeah. We're just gonna yell at everyone.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's good way to pause it. Thanks for tuning in to the really early morning show. And we'll see you. Have a good weekend. Get a game in, and we'll see you next time.